Live from Pine Top, Arizona, it's That Painting Show.
Hi folks, I'm Beth Zink. Yes, it's me. Being socially distant or cowgirl or whatever. Anyway, welcome to day 4 of That Painting Show. Today we're going to work really hard on trying to get this thing finished. And before we do that, we have to check our email box and see who's today's lucky duck.
Today, lucky duck is Jackie from Scottsdale.
Hey, Jackie. Good to hear from you. Which brush do you use for branches? Well, I'll get to that because we're going to get to the branches today. It's not just going to be all the other non-detailed areas of the painting. Remember from yesterday, we were kind of working through this, trying to get some light source, some shadows, and putting in these poppies and all the wildflowers that blanket the desert floor in late spring. And then the foreground, we're going to put in some detailed branches and some actual plants with some structure. So here we go. I'm going to work a little bit more on those mountains because I wasn't quite satisfied with the way they were. Reason being, I was kind of a goof and forgot to put out the paint, as you recall. Hey, you know what? The best recommendation I can make to any artist is don't worry about how many layers. Only the top layer counts, because it's true. You can paint 15 or 20 different layers of color, but only the top layer counts. Nobody else sees all those other colors or other layers. All your mess ups, they don't see them. They'll never know. Of course, unless that you end up being in the Louvre or someplace where they restore your painting. But I don't think any of us has to worry about that. Once again, highlights coming. You have to decide the light source. So everything has shadows going this direction. Just going to add a little bit lighter because this one is in the foreground. This is our little bit closer than these guys. So I can come back in and mess these up too, same direction. You know, you can always go back, and if you like kind of like this coloration better, hey, nobody says you can't go back. All right. Next, I'm going to put a little bit of a shadow under the trees that are way back in the distance. Do I look ridiculous, Dr. John, wearing this hat?
Absolutely you do.
I thought so. This is not even my hat, by the way. This is his hat. Okay, I'm going to put a shadow under this line of trees back here. What shadows do is they ground the object to the surface that it's resting on. And you have to do that. You can't have things kind of floating around. Hey, you know, the other day I forgot to do the cloud shadows. I like to use Payne's Gray, which is kind of a blue-black. Not very much of it. You can also use just plain black. Just to darken your white, because the sun's coming from this direction, and you want to put a little bit of a grayer tint to the bottom of those clouds. If it's not dark enough, keep adding it. If it gets too dark, hey, just add some white. Lighten it up a little bit. On the dark sides of each one of those forms. Just like we did on the trees. You know, you get the light source directional. Okay. Next, I'm going to work my way forward here and put some more plants, desert plants, working my way forward. See how we're coming across here? Oh, purple in there. Whenever you make a mistake like that, don't worry about it. You let it dry, cover it over, or take a paper towel or a napkin or a towel and wipe it off. That's what I love about acrylic paint. You know, let it dry, paint over it. I've been painting in acrylic paint for a long time, and I'm very comfortable with it. And I'm going to try to make all of you real comfortable with it as well. It dries quickly, it's non-toxic, it's just great stuff. So I'm going to come back forth here and just get one side to kind of look like the other side. Not exactly symmetrical, but just like they are all of the same painting. I know you see me going every which way with my strokes, and that's hard to do when you're a beginner. But trust me, messier is better. It looks more natural. Let's put a little bit of red. Some of these poppies have a little bit of red in them. A little bit more green and yellow. I think down here I'm going to have some more. We have some larger trees, bushes, things happening. I'm going to make these work together. I always like to put a little bit of orange in my green if I'm using green to start, because if you don't, green gets real minty in color, and that's not a natural look if you're painting a desert painting. I'm going to throw in a couple of branches here, just to kind of answer Jackie's question, which brush do I use for branches or trees? This is called a liner brush, really skinny brush, but extra long bristles. It's good for hairs, feathers, branches, twigs, whatever. You know, we're not going to have time to finish today, so we're going to leave it at that. And I want to thank you again for coming. Oh, forgot the super sale of the day. We have note cards and Christmas cards, holiday cards, Hanukkah cards. They're all $20 a box, but now we're going to have them be $15 a box through the end of May. And what else do we have? Oh, Pearls of Wisdom. It's time for me to change hats. For my Pearls of Wisdom, I wear this silly beret, put on my great-grandmother's pearls, which may have value, I don't know, it doesn't matter. It's just kind of fun to wear them. And I want to say, hey, work like you don't need the money. Love like no one's ever hurt you. Dance like nobody's watching. Sing like nobody's listening. And live like this is paradise on earth. Thanks for coming. Stay well, stay safe, stay safe.